Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo. Welcome to my scrapbook table where today I'm doing a layout for a game of telephone tag in a Facebook group that I follow. So I'll tell you more about that in a moment. These three photos are from my 11th birthday in 1980 and I love the feel of them. I'm pointing out like the wood paneling, the contact paper on the wall, my mom's glasses and her outfit. I'm using some basic gray that I picked up at a like a garage sale thing a couple years ago, and I only have a few sheets of paper and letter stickers, so I cut two apart and then I used a third sheet to create that border between the 6-inch pieces to kind of cover the seam. I took another sheet of cardstock from that collection and cut it apart to have the florals, and then with what I could I have some pieces there that I can kind of stretch and make work. So here's how I'm going to arrange the photos. I have just one on the left and I'm going to put some layers behind that, and I did matte it in this green color or green print. I don't know if you can see the green matte around it or not. Now I'm thinking about where I'm going to place these branches with the blossoms on it and the bigger florals. So what telephone tag is the first person is given a layout and they create something inspired by that layout. It can be a scrap lift, it can just be the colors, it can be the theme, it can be anything that struck you from that layout. Then that goes back to the organizer who sends that on to the next person. And so, like, I don't know, maybe I'm the fifth person from the beginning, I'm not really sure. But all I saw was the person's layout who came right before me. And I do happen to know who it is online, I recognized her. And once the layout tag is published on the Facebook group, then I'll let her know, and that's when this video will go up. I will keep it private until then. So now I am looking at some, I think these are Vicky Bouton, but I'm not positive. Some of them had the right tones in them. And so I pulled out a foam sticker that says Homespun Goodness because that really felt right for this. And one that says love and another that says feels like home. So I do end up using those three. And oddly enough, they just work really well with the color scheme on this page. I think for a while about where to put that homespun goodness, but it does end up down at the bottom. I had pulled a few other things from a just some stash that I have, but they just weren't the right colors, so I ended up putting those away. I might have put them away, or they might just be in a pile on my table. That's probably more accurate. And again, I'm thinking where to put all of the little pieces that I cut out. There wasn't a lot to even cut out on that page, so I really had to scrimp to have enough things to cover this 2-page spread. And actually, the layout tag is only the page on the left. I wanted a double page, and I pretty much copied her layout. I used it kind of like a sketch, but I flipped it. So her journaling was on the right, mine's on the left. Her embellishment at the top was on the right, mine's on the left. So everything is just kind of mirrored. So like I said, this was my 11th birthday. It was January of 1980. This was in west central Pennsylvania, where it is very cold and snowy in January. We lived at the top of a very steep hill, and so this year it just so happened that everybody could get to our house for this birthday party. And in the winter we lived in the basement part of our house for some years. It was actually built first, and that's where my family, I wasn't born yet, but my family lived down there while they built the rest of the house, the top of it. So it has kitchen, bedroom, bathrooms, living room, that sort of thing. But it had a wood stove. And so we spent the coldest winter months, December, January, February, down there. We all had a bedroom, and it worked out just fine. But looking at these photos just takes me back, and that's what my journaling actually says. These pictures take me back to the house where I lived until I got married. We spent winters in the basement where my family lived while building the upper level. You can see the wood stove we used for heat and the phone on the wall where I spent many hours talking to Dan when we were dating. The Formica table, the orange chairs, the wallpaper, all very 1970s. And I also made a note to look at my beautiful mom. She is lovely. I could name all but one person in these pictures. There's one person whose face I just can't see. I only see a tiny bit of her head, and I'm not positive who that is. But the rest were friends from church and school and my neighbor and a nephew of mine and a niece. So that's who was there. And we had a great time. Actually, my sister-in-law, now my husband's sister, is in that picture. One of the ones on the right-hand page. So that was kind of funny. She was actually here visiting when I was working on this page, and I'm like, hey, look, you're in this photo. So that was kind of fun. So now I'm gluing down the flowers that I had fussy cut. For some reason, I took a long time deciding where to put the flowers and how much of them to trim off and how much of what to cover up. I'm not sure why I was being so fussy about it, but I was. Finally gluing these pieces down. And that one edge is crooked because of where I fussy cut some flowers, but it doesn't really matter because it's tucked under the photo. So that worked out okay anyhow. The piece that goes behind that photo from top to bottom is just a scrap I found in one of my drawers, and it matches some of the color in the journaling paper there. There's a faint pattern on there, and it goes with that, so that's why I chose to put that there. I thought of trying to get some on the right-hand page, but I ended up not doing that. Gluing down some more flowers. And the end of this is rather abrupt because, well, I don't even know why, but I ended up not getting to record like where I finished the layout, especially the right hand side. So there are still shots with a little extra time in those that show some of the details on the right hand side. I did make a list of the people in the photo along the photo mat on the right, which you'll see in the still shots. It's fun when the telephone tag is revealed because you can look at the layouts in order and you see how each one developed from the one before it, and that's always fun to watch the progression of those layouts. So I had one more little scrap of branch and flowers that I tacked there underneath the photo on the left, and that's my main photo. It's funny, I noticed what cake plate the cake is on there. It's from Tupperware. I have that now. I brought that to my house after my mom passed away. So here are some still shots. They show the details and some enamel dots and hearts that I added. I'm thankful that you joined me today. If you liked this, please give me a thumbs up, and I would love it if you'd subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and enjoy your scrapbooking. Bye.